What does amateur competitive golf really look like? Away from the glamour and prize money of the pro game, what are the realities of tournament golf for the average player? I'm competing on the NCG Top 100s Tour, taking part in events across the UK to show exactly that, while putting my game to the test on high-level courses in the arena. Today I'm at St Anne's Old Links, a traditional test of coastal golf for my second tournament of the year. Can I withstand the conditions and move myself up in the order of merit? Let's find out. Right, hello guys, welcome back to the channel and to my second event with the NCG Top 100s Tour. Today I am at St Anne's Old Links. As you can see, it is a bit grey. As you might be able to hear, it is very windy, but I'm excited for this one. This course is supposed to be great. I've seen it quite a lot on various YouTube videos, etc. Hoping I can battle the conditions well enough to put up a decent score. I will try and film the whole round as usual. It is, as per all of these events, a Stableford event, so points per hole, 2 for net par, 3 for net birdie, 1 for net bogey, and anything worse than a double is just nothing. So as ever, each hole is a fresh opportunity to score points. Can't blow up the round on one single hole, which is maybe good, we'll see. You can see the Big Dipper in the background, I think that's what it's called. But anyway, let's hope we're on for a good one today. Wow, it really is quite windy. St Anne's Old Links, second event with the NCG Top 100s Tour. Gonna get warmed up, have a few putts, and let's get into it. So it was a very blustery day at St Anne's Old Links. We had wind behind to start with, which was helpful. Hit a pretty good drive on the first, just up the left-hand side, and had about 75, 80 yards in. Decent pitch, slightly short of the flag. So I had, I guess, 20 feet for a birdie putt on the start, which obviously would have been a very lovely way to get the round moving. Fortunately hit it slightly uncomfortable distance past, so had a 4-foot comeback for par, but made that in. So par to start and 2 points on the board. Straight back into the wind on the second, which is a much harder hole anyway. Again, managed to get a good drive away. Long ways in, but hit a slightly flary, but like not terrible approach shot, just short right of the green. Thankfully, the short game was working quite well as I clipped this very nicely, and it kind of took the slope and ended up in a pretty good spot. So I had 5-footer for par, jarhead, 3 points on the board, and we are off and running. Short par 3 on the third, hit a really good iron shot in. Honestly thought it had a chance, came up a little bit short. This was possibly one of my better birdie looks of the day. Kind of 12 feet right to left up the hill. Just pushed it past the right edge, but 2 points. And at that point I was leading the nearest the pin competition, but sadly someone beat me to it, which is not surprising as we were one of the first groups out. Again, hit a really good tee shot on the fourth, but ended up in one of those hellish links bunkers. Managed to actually advance it a decent way up there, but then still had probably 50, 60 yards in for my third. Again, good pitch shot, let it run up short, used the slope. And again, the putter bailed me out, so par and another 3 points, and we are 10 points through 4 holes and motoring. St Anne's Old Links then has back-to-back par 5s. This one is quite scary because there is OB all up the right-hand side, played safe up the left, and there was no real chance of getting there in 2. So just laid it up. Didn't hit a particularly great third, so left myself a longer birdie putt than I would have liked. And certainly left myself a longer par putt than I would have liked, as I absolutely rammed this one miles past the hole. So that's what, 6-7 feet coming back to save par. But yeah, the putter was absolutely my friend at this point. So again, par and 3 points, and I'm level par through 5 holes. And at this point I'm thinking, well, I'm basically a scratch golfer already, right? Not so much. Brilliant lie there in the lip of the bunker. Thankfully managed to hack it out actually fairly convincingly. This hole was playing straight into the wind and very, very long. I think I hit a 5-iron on this third shot. I had about 150 yards in, hit a 5-iron and still came up short. Not a bad pitch there, but unfortunately the luck had run out at this point, and these par save putts were getting longer and longer and longer. And I thought I actually hit a really good one here. Just sat on the lip and didn't want to go in. So first bogey of the day. That's me just waiting for it to go in, but 2-pointer, and we are 1 over through 6 holes. Driver really was working nicely on this day, hit a really good one on the 7th, hard hole this one, and not a terrible approach shot. I just played it a little bit safe as I didn't want to get stuck in either of those horrific bunkers off the side of the green. Certainly was giving these birdie putts a run, a little bit fiery with that one, but managed to miss the comebacker. So yes, annoying one that actually, after a good drive and a good approach. Sloppy bogey, even though it was a 2-pointer. Bad drive on 8, and I wasn't able to capture the second shot here. I had a group playing straight into me, so needed to get a move on. So this is actually my 3rd shot you're seeing here, which I sort of hack out of the rough and onto the green, leaving myself a very long par putt. Gave it a really good run, actually, but not likely to make many of those, and salvage the bogey for a point. 9th hole is one of St Anne's Old Links' signature holes, a long funnel par 3 with huge banks on either side. I thought I'd hit a decent one and it was going to kick off the left-hand bank, but it actually got caught up in this sort of little hollowy swale thing, and I was left with a pretty horrific shot. Just tried to sort of chunk and run it and caught it a little bit too clean over the edge of the green on the other side, and then I hit a really quite bad putt. I was perilously close to having a little bit of a temper tantrum here. As you can see there, the putter went walkies, but I managed to save a bogey with a very good putt there. So we are through 9 holes and we are 19 points, so 1 better than handicap. Now I hit a rank tee shot on the 10th, worst of the day. Big rope hook smothery pull thing, and again, apologies, I missed my second shot. I was playing out some GUR and had to get a move on. There was groups coming and going. It was a very busy day out on the course. So this is my 3rd shot, so I managed to get it back for a birdie putt here. Yeah, it wasn't lying too badly. It was just on the, I think it was on the 18th fairway, so it had a little 50-degree wedge onto the green. Long birdie putt here. Was putting it really well on this day. Both my lag putting and my kind of 3 to 6 foot putts were good. Just a little clean up here for the par. Okay, and looking back on this, fairly pleased with how I'm driving it. Driver is squirrely for me. Hit a good one here, slightly to the right, but in absolutely no danger. Slightly dicky approach shot, just left myself off the right hand side of the green. And then I just, I don't know, I was putting from up the green quite a bit, which I think is legit on these links courses and fine, but sometimes judging the pace is a little bit tricky, and I didn't give it enough mustard on the first one. And just a tricky par putt that, again, didn't give it enough. So slightly sloppy bogey there after a decent drive and a 1-pointer. Decent drive on 12, just slightly right of the fairway, but absolutely no problem there. Good line in. And unfortunately, I did the only thing you can't really do from that position and dump it in this rather hellish bunker. And it managed to get up quite close to the lip. The last thing I wanted to do was leave it in the bunker. So I gave it a fairly hefty whack, did get it out, but left it long. And this was one of the worst holes of my of the day. One of only, I think, a couple of doubles. In fact, maybe the only legitimate double I made. Had to chip back on and had a long putt for bogey. Which I gave a very good run to, but didn't manage to make. So tap in double, disappointing. Got a point as I had a shot on this hole, but not what you want. 13 was playing very long, difficult par 3. Actually struck a great 4-iron, which rather penetrated the wind more than I was expecting it to. So managed to go long, which I really didn't think was possible given the conditions. Again, took putter here. Just it seemed like the play. There didn't seem to be anything to gain from trying to get chippy with it. This time I actually managed to judge the pace very well, was pleased with that, left myself probably 4 feet for the par cleanup, which I made. And again, this was a shot hole, so a par for 3 points. 26 points through 13, back on handicap pace.
Yeah, lovely. Perfect.
Decent drive on 14, fairly long approach shot in, clubbed up, but clearly not enough. But actually ended up fine just off the front of the green with a very easy putt on there. As you can see, that's some nicely tight links grass. Probably make that if I give it another 18 inches worth of pace, but a par and a 3-point par, because again, got a shot on that hole. So it's all going pretty well at this point, feeling quite good. Ahead of handicap, the sun's come out, it's certainly blustery, but playing quite well. Excuse me. Good bunker escape there. This was just one where I tried to get too cute with this enormous mound that I had to go over. Really tried to play it high and bank it. Possibly that could have worked, but I probably just didn't need to play quite as much break. And this is one of those like 50-50 par putts that I was a bit disappointed on the day not to make, particularly when it was that close. But another 2 points on the board. Worst hole of the day here, worst shot of the day, flary, uncommitted, bullshit 6-iron, I think, into the heather on the right. Very lucky to have even found this ball, frankly. Thwacked it out, came out hotter than I expected, over the other side of the green, bit of ping pong, and ultimately, unfortunately, a pickup. My only blob, my only 0-point hole of the day. Back-to-back par 5s to finish, got away a good drive, but still had so far in, hit a hybrid, I think ended up going about 160 yards into the wind. And then I think I still had a full pitching wedge or 9-iron to get to the green. Actually hit that one fairly well. Long birdie putt here. But a pretty good lag, all things considered. And thankfully managed to make the cleanup for par. Down the last, OB all along the right, so did not want to mess with that. Just played it up the left and faded it in a bit. Again, just trying to play away from all the OB down the right. Pulled this approach shot slightly and into the crap over the bunker. Thankfully found it. Very blind shot, which I actually hit very well. Just slightly long and slightly left. At this point, I think my blood sugar was quite low because I'm clearly in a bit of a mood there. Bye-bye wedge. Long par putt from off the green. Actually thought I'd made it. Ended up about an inch short. So tap in for bogey. So that's 1 point to finish with and a final score of 35. So only one off shooting my handicap for the day, which frankly, I think given the circumstances, given the wind, given a course I've never played before, I was really quite happy with. I actually ended up finishing 16th out of 96 people on the day. So I think that's pretty good going. I will say it does make things more difficult trying to film these rounds, which, you know, is obviously my decision, but it does add a bit of pressure and a little bit of difficulty. You can see from my shot scope data that versus a 5 handicap baseline, did okay. I drove it really well. I putted really well. Approach game and short game were the things that slightly let me down. I'm slightly surprised by those short game numbers. I think that's probably more your 50 to 100 yard shots that let me down there rather than my shots around the green, although probably those 2 thwacks from the heather on 16 may have contributed significantly to those numbers. It was also nice to start with 5 pars in a row. Don't do that too often. Bit of a shame I couldn't keep it going, but pretty happy with that. If you are interested in tracking your game and getting this kind of data for yourself, then do hit the link below. You will get a discount on all ShotScope products and you would be helping out and supporting the channel. So that is my second NCG Tour event in the books. I have 16 more coming up, including 4 in 4 days, down in the southwest in Devon and Cornwall very soon. Watch out for more content coming on those. If you would like to sign up for any of the NCG Tour events, they run right the way through until September. Again, there's a link below. You can get a discount on entry fees. There's plenty of spaces left. There's some amazing golf courses, and my experiences so far have been very, very good. So 2 events in the books, 34 points at Royal Lytham, 35 points at St Anne's Old Links. Pretty happy with that all told. Many more to come. As ever, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. It would mean a lot to me if you could like, hype, and comment as ever. And I will see you in the next one.